First of all, I just want to say thank you, God. I'm listening to these perps the government utilize, and they're yelling things to try to disorient me. Participate in this program come in all shape or form. Regular civilians, regular citizens are involved in this. And for me, I've accepted that's a common aspect of being a target vigil. Participate, neighbors, co-workers, and there's people move around you to try to not try, but to actually involve themselves in that. I'm saying that try to fight, try to create mental battles. But I've understood that they're just clowns. They're meant to disorient you. Matter of fact, for this clown to say that they love what they're doing is like, okay, yeah, you just tell me that just to disorient me. The truth is they've been humiliated by the reality of what it is. And it doesn't take a genius to see what's happening here. When I make these videos, it's not to convince anybody. If anything, they can see more than me that I'm being manipulated. I'm being manipulated mentally, psychologically, to the point that even my rationality is being overwhelmed with the stupidity. So for those who don't have this retarded, manipulated brain, like mine, it's so easy. And for those who don't have to be childlike and retarded to gaslight me, it's easy. Now, these perps, for example, what they do is just... I'm sorry, when I hear these perps interacting with me via VToken, it's like, yeah, I'm minded. As agitated as it is, they couldn't do that in my face. Because at these points, I listen to what they do. I am validated with what they do. And if you just watch my last video and the cover of this video, let me bring that up if I can. Let me see. You clearly see that the entities behind this program are pedophile, the level that's been certified. While I hear this clown, when I hear this clown who are just the nothings, tell me how like their mind is like, you guys are pedophiles. This program is led by governmental entities. The Department of Defense is clearly behind this. But to find out that those entities, same entities, mining, mapping, observing, actually pedophiles, or filled with pedophilia, or filled with pedophiles. And on top of that, understanding that they tell me they're going to implant child porn, when the entities behind this program, running this program, have issue, and have the issue have got worse with pedophilia, child porn, is amazing. It's like in every ways, these low-life bottom feeders who enjoy to be involved in a program that manipulates the brain have been just destroyed and dismantled in the way they were presenting themselves. And so they rely a lot of childlike individual to try to gaslight me. Right now, I'm hearing some teenage trash with their infantile ways of trolling me. Listen, in the last video, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to be careful because my phone is not the best. My secondary barely function. They were messing with me with this here. In the background, you see these little kids. Now you can see how young these kids are. They're like babies, like under 10, 6, 7 years old. This guy here, he's called 6'8". He's King 6'8". He's a very popular influencer because apparently women love him. Today, I'm disturbed and manipulated. So when I see these little kids behind this men, the way they make me have these perceptions is so disgusting. Because now I'm forced to perceive these kids, these babies, in their bathing suit, in these degrading, disgusting ways that they force me to experience. Now, if I was not being manipulated, these babies would just be babies behind. I don't care what. But today, they manipulate my perception and try to make me perceive these kids' butts in these ways like they're women, and make me perceive them in a way that's sexual. These babies. And I call them babies because they're not even like teenager or anything. They're babies. I hope you hear this clown making those campaign, because these clowns around me are supposed to gaslight me, to internalize this. In the last video, you see what they look like. They're in the pajamas and sweaters, and I'm supposed to think that they opened the door. And when I say this, gaslighting tactics, is because I'm a target individual. I should introduce myself properly first. As a TI, what happens to you if you deal with this V2K synthetic telepathy? Your mind is being manipulated. You'll hear a lot of target individuals. Not all target individuals deal with that, but a lot of us deal with that. A lot of target individuals deal with this manipulation of the mind. It's like they attack your mind using this technology. The same entities behind this development of this technology, they've been working on how to manipulate the brain since the 60s. You can find documentation that even in the 50s, they were starting to map the brain so they can be manipulating the brain. So they can make somebody have sexual arousals when they want it, but stimulating that part of the brain, right? Right now, if I showed you the level of childishness that's gaslighting me, it'll be insane. I don't even think some of the perps around me are like childish, as in they're children. They don't even have a concept of how they look like. But that's why you hear men like Steve Marlowe, who called himself a target individual, end up killing a 15-year-old, because they do utilize children. So in this program where they've been developing this technology for a long time, specifically the Department of Defense, prioritizing this technology to be weaponized. And you hear that in the 50s and the 60s, they already started mapping the brain to know how to manipulate the mind. They were already planning on wanting to control the mind. And so the initial stage is to understand what part of the brain can do what, right? That's back in the 50s. And the evolution today is to another level. Today, the level of manipulation is insane. It's not just the manipulation of getting sexual arousals and this and that, because they do that all the time. They can make you have emotions. This is kind of old. That the emotion manipulation, stimulations, all that, they were able to do that a while ago when they started mapping the brain in regard of, like, if we stimulate that part of the brain, it's going to be euphoric feelings. There's going to be stimulation feelings. There's going to be this and that. So they already knew how to control that a long time ago. Make them experience that whenever they want. Today, it goes further, that now memory manipulations they're capable of doing that in a very precise way. They could manipulate memories a long time ago, but today is to another level of refinery. But most importantly, your thought process, your perceptions, all of that can be manipulated today. That's the evolution of today versus what they were able to do back then. And they're still utilizing the textbook brainwashing. So this ecosystem around me, they utilize just textbook brainwashing. Being manipulated this way, then having the theatrics that intertwined with the manipulations. It's clear they do that so they can internalize this manipulation. They want me to feel guilty for how they manipulate me. So how they do that is they do this noise campaign. They behave as if they're just observing something that's not being manipulated, but just an experience that's just observed. That's why in the last video, you'll see they look at their phone. They'll be like looking at their phone, like this is their phone, and they look, I'm looking at my phone, so we see this. Because they make you have these experiences. And wanting you to experience, act like, they want you to internalize this manipulation. They want you to think that it's you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at my phone and say, oh, I'm looking at my phone. Oh, I just saw that. Other theatrics are noise campaign. Slam the door. They do this. Oh, you're going to die in hell. This and that. That is part of you wanting you to internalize it. It's very gimmicky. Well, once you figure out, like, Jesus, it's just too obvious. Because initially it can start working a little bit. But then you're like, Jesus, that's so obvious. They want you to look at them looking at their phone because they want you to know that they know. Earlier, it was even worse. The acting was worse. Like, oh my gosh. Oh. They're like, look at their phone. They're like, oh my God. Oh my Jesus. So today what they do is the same thing. Try to minimize the obviousness, but it's too obvious. And because I deal with voice to skull, V2K. V2K is an old technology that they were already able to do. They were able to project voices that only the target individual can hear. And it goes directly into your brain. And apparently in the 60s, that's when they began working on that. So they utilize this technology that project their voices into your brain to remotely gaslight you. So that's when they're like, oh, we mapped, and they go through the scripts of the things. Like, yeah, we proved it. Yeah, little girls, you're gonna be this and that, and they use fear tactics, all kind of tactics, to textbook, by the way, just things that you know, when somebody wants you to believe something that's falsified and want to pressure you to accept that, they will be like, oh, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna do this and that. And not to say they're not gonna do it, but they say that so I can internalize this. For example, they're like, yeah, you're gonna be slaughtered, you're gonna be slaughtered, you're gonna be raped. It's like, okay, guess what? You guys are a bunch of bottom fearful pedophiles. I will never internalize this nasty manipulation and this fear tactic. And they use even voices that are like, yeah, slaughter, die. Very gimmicky using this V2K. But you see them in person and you're not subscribing to that, guess what happens? It dawns on them. It's like, oh, shit. Yeah, it's real life. Because I don't even just allow them to live the fantasy. I'll put that in their faces. A man called Steve Marlowe in 2022 killed 4 individuals, a 15-year-old, a 42-year-old, a 78 and an 82-year-old. The 42-year-old, by the way, is a woman, the mother of the 15-year-old. Before he did that, as they tried to manipulate my brain, he wrote a whole manifesto saying what's happening to me. I'm being attacked psychologically via this technology that can alter my brain and make me have thoughts process, emotions, and all kind of things. I'm being manipulated in this degrading, abusive way. Psychologically. He pre-recorded a video. Say, I'm doing this to expose what's happening. Target individual, understand that your mind is being manipulated. I'm about to execute people participating in this. And he killed them. He's not the first, and he definitely won't be the last one. These clowns use teenagers to try to negate how obvious things are. And they tell me now there's something with their researchers. If you see who the fuck is talking to me, let me give you a sample. If I bring, let me see if I can bring one of these clowns up and see how sad it is. Because it's very pathetic. We're talking about some of the most pathetic teenage trash you can imagine. Let me see. I'm not finding it. As I'm saying that they try to gaslight me, that's why you hear this noise campaign. Because you are shocked that they don't even know what they look like. And they're like, yeah, now you are. And like, you know, when children have tantrum, you are. And they talk to you like they're mad for you to not be subscriptive of it. Like they're mad, like, what you are. And it's like, it doesn't even dawn on them that it's being mad. Talking to each other, killing people like you. And you little tantrum teenage shit. You're a little retard who's not so out of touch and disconnected from reality that you don't even know that somebody will want to kill you. Well, you're just a bottom feeder who clearly just nothing here, and the entities running this program are pedophiles certified in ways. And your little tantrum is supposed to make me subscribe to this. And that's when things go left. Because this disconnected trash are still deluded that these things are just, people subscribe to that. Let me just make you, they try to make me say, make you understand. Listen, there's nothing to make anybody understand. Everybody knows this. But the thing is, you as a target individual, you're being so manipulated that the obviousness sometimes is kind of camouflaged and covered with the retardation that's used as a rationality. To show you how stupid these clowns are, in regard of, not even stupid, but how disconnected. Some of these clowns that look like this, that live around you, these people that you see here, want you to think that this disgusting manipulation that you see here, with these little kids here, and let me try to zoom for the camera, these babies here, or this here, in the bathing suit, You will perceive these children in this sexual way. Are not even a teenager, like 7 years old. So you have people like that. As I'm trying to like that, who want you to subscribe to this manipulation, as if you're not being manipulated. Do you see how disconnected this trash are? Do you see how like something here, and they can come in different shape, meaning they can be grown-ass men and women, but this little teenage trash are the one who are the most like. And then for me, the way they wanted me to subscribe to this, the way they, because I was talking about how I will never perceive these kids in this way. I could like, no matter like, they even try to create mental battles like, what if you saw the butts of this? This will never even be processed in a sexual way, in any way sexual. We'll just be little babies around, running around like little children. But today, even seeing the forehead of a child, they can manipulate me to have this perception, stimulation, sensation that this trash here supposed to gaslight me into internalizing, as if I'm not being manipulated. And to make me subscribe, like, yeah, I never perceived kids like that, but what about Billie Eilish? These clowns, let me give a second. As I was saying, what about Billie Eilish? If you've seen a lot of my videos, they've been trying to make me subscribe to how they create these memories about, a narrative about Billie Eilish. Yes, the pop star. Yes, the musician. They're like, but remember when she was dancing this and that, you saw her in this way and this, and I'm talking about her when she's in here. Yes. They've created a whole bullshit narrative in my memories about her and try to flip it in different ways that should make me today accept that this manipulation here with these babies should be identified. Because you were like, talk about, oh, Billie Eilish issues like this, issues, the pop star. That she has potential to look better if she didn't dress this way in this, and today I should be subscribing to this manipulation toward these babies. Which even with Billie Eilish, this thing has been redesigned and flipped in different ways, like as if I was interested in Billie Eilish like this. But they're like, yeah, you see how you judge. So I should believe and subscribe to this little 8-year-old. And then this little teenage retard comes like, yeah, I'm Billie Eilish. Trash retards. And this is clown like this. That you've seen before. And there's people like this around you. Childlike, nobody, who are just the bottom feeders in this program, who wants you to subscribe to this stupidity of rationality to make me subscribe to these manipulations. And they're like, yeah, we want to prove the trash. Everybody see how stupid it is, but they participate. I understand that this is something where everybody in your ecosystem will participate in. If they won't, it'll be a problem. There is going to be participation for everybody who surrounds you or around you, even your family members. If not, they become target individual. There's not a lot of cases, or maybe if they don't, it's just going to be hard for them. Life is not going to be easy. Everybody participate. Your own mother participate in that. At least in my case. And there's other people who's mentioned family members' involvement. It's not rarity. Everything they do is. And then you hear these clowns like, yeah, you're not. With the retardations. Like, yeah, no, and you protect children. Top tier protective children. And they use this childlike trash. Via V2K, what I've noticed, you can see these people that are just presented to you. These perps. Imagine how they talk to you via V2K. It's like, you're not. And then you try to harness a voice of just mystique and just anger that's fake. The anger they have, the mistake they try to create, first of all, is to make you internalize this. Then this shit dawns on them that in real life, just like Stevie Marlowe, you're ready to crash out. But these clowns think their little persona has function. They send this teenager disconnected with reality, where they're like, no, you're not. A man out here killing 4 people, because of a 15-year-old in trash. Like, you think you still have a chance to make me subscribe to this? Because you make yourself talk like a villain with your tantrum? Fuck you. But trust me, stay disconnected to this purpose. Doing this thing around me. Disconnect yourself from reality whenever. I don't care. I'm not here to try to, but I know that when I face you, we're gonna deal with reality. Not because your little scripts of things you say to try to make somebody subscribe to things. And it'll be easy. An easy decision for me to know what to do.